Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas from Heritage Christian School. And thanks so much for staying with us. Charla, so we're focusing on the 3-year-olds through 5th grade. Now, is that unusual that you take 3-year-olds in the preschool?
It is. A lot of the public schools start at age 4 instead of age 3. But yes, we start at age 3 and potty trained and welcome our youngest little babies to the school. And we open at 6:30 a.m. all the way until 5:30 p.m. But it's much more than just a care place. It really is academically oriented and making sure our littlest students are really learning well.
Talk to me about the teachers there. Where do they come from? Tell me about them.
We have awesome teachers, as you can imagine. They have great hearts. Really having that faith foundation is a part of their instruction, just like their diplomas and their education experience. Our teachers have anywhere from 36 years of experience all the way to just a handful with, the reading endorsements, and we have intervention specialists and everything really needed to help students to perform well. And they have amazing hearts. I can't speak highly enough about our teachers. Yeah, just from every sphere, some, north, some from south, east, and west, but all coming together in one place because they believe in what we're doing at Heritage.
And Heritage, the mission has almost shifted a bit, hasn't it? Because it has really focused on school choice. Tell me about what is the mission now as far as Heritage and where you're located and the families that you're serving so well.
Absolutely. So our official mission statement is the ABC. So academic excellence, Bible-based instruction, and our community commitment. And I think community commitment is really the piece that we've grabbed a hold of and really adore. Our students come from all walks of life. So we are very upfront and open with our families about what we teach and what their child's going to learn as in a Christian educational setting. Mm-hmm. But we don't require our families, like some private schools do. We don't require our families to maybe have a pastor's reference or even to be going to church at all. So some of our students come in and this is the first time they've ever heard the gospel.
Wow.
Which is really powerful. Mm-hmm. And some of our students come from amazing home lives and some come from very challenging home lives. Mm-hmm. And so we really have the Grand Canyon of learners and we have the Grand Canyon from family backgrounds as well. And we just love that because it adds a real richness to our student body. About half of our students are one or more minority races, and about 7% of our students are Hispanic or Latino. So it's a beautiful mixture of cultures and personalities and all coming together in one place to learn about and worship God while also learning about math.
There is that.
Yes, of course.
It just sounds like an amazing microcosm of our community. And tell me how the children are getting along and how they navigate some things that maybe we wish adults would learn how to navigate better.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's really interesting is our students are able to come together, and we like to say that we believe we look a bit like heaven.
Yes.
Because so many different people from different, like I say, from different walks of life. And because our school is smaller, even in just the kindergarten through grade 5, we expect to have 200 students next year. And so the students get to know each other really well. Mm-hmm. And so they learn to work with others who may be different from, them or different from their families. And so students who maybe, would cross the street, past one another and never talk now are getting along and learning about each other's culture, et cetera. So it is really a unique place. Sometimes I tell families, sometimes Christian schools get criticized that maybe we have a protective environment, which we want to, and we do, but maybe that we keep kids in a bubble. Our school is less of a bubble because students do bring in different experiences and different backgrounds and maybe not have a faith tradition. We provide a protective environment there, but it is a little bit different. Now, we also think that that's a good thing because sometimes if something happens in class that may be unexpected, or if a student says something that perhaps they shouldn't say in class, that gives us the opportunity to say, stop, let's pause, let's talk about this, let's walk through this, because although this isn't maybe the thing that we should say, how do we deal with that? What does the Bible say about that? How do we ask for forgiveness from one another if we've said something mean, etc.? So although some may consider it less of a bubble-like environment, we feel like that's what we've been called to do. Not that it's every Christian school's mission, but that's ours.
real life learning then taking place on another level besides as the 3 R's.
You've got it, yes. And the students ultimately are going to enter into a global workforce. They're going to go out into this world, and whatever God has called them to do, it may be here in our community, it may be across the world. We don't know. So we think it's really important to develop those collaboration skills, those team building skills with other individuals.
Gotta say, they all look so cute in their uniforms.
They do.
Oh my goodness. Yes, let's talk about that. Why uniforms, Charlotte?
A lot of research has gone into what children wear, and they say that it reduces tardies in the morning. It can even reduce absenteeism. It can reduce bullying because there's less pressure if we're all wearing somewhat similar items.
Right.
And I'm not sure if it creates more or less laundry for the parents, but yes, a lot of research has gone into that. And this week we have done a special fundraiser for, sometimes we'll raise money for a special cause, and so allow students to wear their jeans and maybe a spirit wear t-shirt or a jacket like I'm wearing. Mm-hmm. So then we can use that as an opportunity so that they really understand, okay, we're doing this for a special reason, for a special cause. But we also do believe behavior is better when, for some reason, when they're dressed up a little bit more, they mind their P's and Q's a little bit better too.
That's so interesting. And yes, and we certainly would not want any child missing out just because they didn't have clothes to wear or the uniform to wear. So a fundraiser taking place so that every child who wants to be there can be there, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we raise funds for a variety of reasons, but definitely over the summer we even have a swap shop so that you can buy other students' gently used items.
Right, as they're graduating out.
Yes, and there have been a couple of cases where we've known a student hasn't had what they need and the staff has come together and purchased that item for them.
Well, that really helps. It's great. I just think they look adorable, first of all. Let's talk about the families who the children are coming from, not a Christian environment, not a faith-based home. You've seen, I'm sure, some radical changes in a person's life, in these little ones' lives. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me some stories?
Wow, there are so many stories. And maybe a lot of people say that, but there truly are a lot of stories. Just thinking of one student who came in this year at a slightly older age level, and she literally wrote, when we unfortunately had to make this decision, she really literally wrote, "This school has changed my life." Seeing students maybe with anger because they couldn't forgive maybe a parent who maybe is no longer in the home, being able to work through that. Seeing students who have maybe made some poor choices in the past really start to make amazing good choices, and you can just see the whole trajectory of their lives change. I know one student well in particular. A couple of years ago, he grew up in a Christian home, but a series of events had happened that were just tragic in his life. And so he started to feel like there really was no God. And I think deep down into his heart, he knew that there was, but he was just angry. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting, his mother called me just today, and she said, my child is talking about possibly going into the armed forces, but maybe he mentioned going in as a chaplain. And
my goodness.
Yes, and
wow.
She said just to see the change in that one child's life from being either angry or just completely saying, I don't care to go to church, I don't care about God, God has left me, or God doesn't even exist, to now completely reestablishing his faith. That's a powerful thing.
To help others.
You got it.
Wow.
And even little ones, I heard from a mom that her child was there just, I think, for preschool and kindergarten, but the family had, a faith background, but had stepped away from faith for a lot of reasons. And when the child was coming home and praying and singing the songs, it actually got the whole family back reoriented to God and to going to church again. So don't ever doubt what those little lives can do. They're really amazing.
Those little lives can go home and be missionaries in their own homes. Then that transforms an entire family. Mm-hmm. The school itself performs extremely well academically. Mm-hmm. Let's brag a little bit.
Yes, actually, we're very, very proud. We probably don't brag enough. But if you look at 22 different indicators from grade 3 all the way up through high school end of course exams, we're located in Canton City. Canton City is our biggest district in terms of students. but we outperform them on average 35%. So our scores are 35% higher than the Canton City Schools across 22 different tests, and that's reading and math and science and social studies, etc. Looking to other private Christian schools, we also perform very well. It's really hard to compare private school to private school because sometimes we take different tests, but all Ed Choice students in the state of Ohio have to take the state tests. And hidden in a dark corner of the Ohio Department of Education website are all of the scores for the private schools.
So anyone can go to that and look them up?
You can, yes. If you go to the Ohio Department of Education website and you search for, I think it's even voucher scores or something of that nature, it will give you the Ohio Ed Choice voucher statistics. And compared to everyone else in Stark County and around us, Heritage Christian School, our overall percentage proficient, we outscored everyone else.
Oh, wow. But being the Christian school that you are, you don't go bragging about it. And you're right, you're in a tough spot.
Yes, we probably do need to do a better job of stating the facts while also really acknowledging the work that the other Christian schools do, of course. But we're very proud of our kids, especially considering that many come from, poverty situations or maybe groups that typically don't test well. The fact that they score as well as they do is really something special.
So tell me about another fun thing that was always something to look forward to was work day. How involved are the families? And I'm going to be honest here. I think a lot of times when something is for free, you don't take as much ownership in it. When families paid tuition, we knew that was our building. And so how do the families work together as far as those work days to keep everything all spick and span and spiffy for the kids?
Yes, having a large building that's almost 100 years old certainly takes some elbow grease to keep spick and span.
Certainly did.
And we do have a lot of active families. However, I think it's just a change in our culture in general. You hear it at other schools that so many families now, the child's going to school, maybe the parent is going back to school or working more than one job. We know we have a lot of families nowadays that maybe are single parent families. So a lot of families are strapped for time. We're actually launching a whole volunteer program. We would love anyone in the community, any individuals, any church groups. Please give us a call and contact us. We would love to, even if it's once a month for a couple of hours. We really need to grow a volunteer army to help us to do the amazing work that we're doing, and we would love help.
What kinds of things will you get to do as a volunteer?
It is across the board. So anything from reading with children, maybe stepping into the classroom, helping the teacher, to maybe you like to fix things or clean or work in the office. Anything is an opportunity. So if you have a skill or few skills, we would love to have you there and an extra hand on deck. And we do have a little bit of an orientation process, an interview, background check, but we would love more help.
Oh, that does sound like a lot of fun, too, when you get to rub elbows with the kids, and a lot of fun. Remind everyone where you're located.
Absolutely. So we are down on 6th Street. Our address is 2107 6th Street Southwest in Canton, Ohio, of course. And our phone number, if anyone has any questions or just wants more information, even to volunteer, our phone number is 330-452-8271, or they can always visit our website at www.heritagechristianschool.org.
Charlotte Elton, thank you so much for all you're doing in our community.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.